Tuesday host for Witches of the Moon. And today's topic is dreaming. How we feel about dreaming, whether we feel it's relevant to the pagan path or our own spiritual path or our path as a witch. How we have experienced dreaming and how it has perhaps influenced our own path walking, perhaps. And yeah, if we think it's important to people who are learning or interested in witchy or pagan-y paths. So I think my point first and foremost about this subject is I love the subject. I really enjoy the subject of dream analysis, and secondly, I feel that it is one of those subjects which can influence and affect people from all walks of life, no matter their spiritual inclination. And even if they don't have any spiritual inclination, it's a really fascinating subject which has even been studied within the realms of psychology to better understand the human mind and the human consciousness and awake consciousness and subconscious and all that sort of good stuff. I don't think I can go into that in too much depth because I don't actually have any literature with me, and I would need to refer to some studies which people could then go and look at. But if you're interested in the psychology of dreams, it's really a fascinating subject and you should definitely go check it out. But for our purposes, I've always been really interested in it within my path walking, and it's been one of those things I've always been sort of naturally gifted at, if you like, if I do say so myself. For example, the same idea is I never needed to be taught how originally to use a pendulum. I just knew it innately, and dream analysis was something that I was always really natural at doing, I guess. And you know, as a teenager, other teenagers would ask me what their dreams meant. Generally speaking, as teenagers, it's all about, you know, the opposite sex. But it can be a really intriguing and interesting thing to study and use within your own path. It gives you insight into your own psyche, and it can as well be messages from spirit, from the divine, because when you're asleep, your conscious mind isn't as busy. You're not preoccupied with all the mundane everyday things. Oh, I need to do this, I need to go there, I need to pick up the kids, I need to go shopping, I need to buy milk. You know, all those things are not at the forefront of your mind because you're asleep. Your brain waves change and you dream. And I think the fact that there's something beautiful about the fact that nearly everybody dreams, and animals dream, and there's a connectedness there which connects us all, regardless of our spiritual inclinations. I dream quite vividly personally. I have 3, 4, 5 dreams a night that I will remember, and my brain has actually got into the habit of waking me up after certain dreams and then going straight back to sleep, so I actually tend to remember a lot of them. And dream journaling can be a really useful tool for anybody who wants to start in this path, which is just having a pen and paper by your bed and start writing them down the second you wake up so you don't forget them, and then you can look back on them and decide whether or not you feel they are important. They can be important in a number of ways, and the, you know, sort of symbolism is often considered to be the key concept within dream analysis, and you can of course buy dream analysis books which will tell you that this symbol in general represents this symbol in general represents that. I can't think of anything offhand actually, but what I would say is, whilst dream guides can be fun, then you should take it within the context of your own path walking, because sometimes certain symbols mean very different things to individuals as they might to other people. So it's worth, you know, anything you think is important, you highlight it, you go research it, you go look on different symbol meanings for it. For example, if you're following a different path, then different animals, for example, can mean completely different things. For me, a swan is going to mean different things in a Celtic path walking to anybody who follows a different path. They might have similar key themes in common, but what it would mean to me would be different to what it would mean to someone else. So it's always worth journaling and then jotting down your own theories and ideas, because you're the one who dreamt it, you're the one whose subconscious mind conjured those images, and the message is at the end of the day for you. Oh no, now I'm going to have the Jeremy Kyle song in my head. At the end of the day, at the end of the day. Go look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Anyway, so I really do enjoy dream analysis. I think it's a really interesting way to tap into our subconscious and psyche. And quite often our brain will tell us if there are things we've been neglecting and things we need to pay attention to. So if we need to heal ourselves in a certain way and we've been ignoring it because we've been too busy with everyday life or whatever, or if there's a relationship which has been falling apart and really we ought to be attending to it and stopping that happening, or if somebody perhaps is psychically attacking us, then all of these things can and do appear in dreams because our subconscious is picking up on those energies, and we can't ignore it because our conscious mind is so busy. One thing I will say about the whole psychic attack thing and dreaming of someone who is psychically attacking you, if you're paranoid about a person A, B or C and you are pretty sure that they're doing it, and well, let's say you're paranoid and you don't know that they are doing it, but you're paranoid about it, then you're likely to conjure that up in your dream because it's been on your mind. And you have to be careful in the way you interpret your dream. Is it yes, they are attacking you, or is it you just are obsessing? And the best way to deal with any psychic attack, I feel personally, is to cleanse yourself, protect yourself, and return to sender. And if nothing's going on, then nothing's going to happen. And just keep your psyche clear, keep your energies clear, keep yourself purified and cleansed, and that's all you really need to do, and put things back in the hands of the divine and let them deal with it. It works well for me. But messages that come through dreams are often weird and wonderful. It's like another world, and we're all connected through it because nearly everyone dreams. Animals dream, we dream, and there's a huge interconnectedness of energy there, and it's just something beautiful about the fact that we all dream, and something we have no control over, generally speaking. I mean, we can condition ourselves to dream about certain things, but generally speaking, why would you want to? I think the weird and wonderful things we dream about are an insight into divinity sometimes. It's just so far out there and so wonderful and so other that it can be an incredible experience. So on the flip side of this, of course, then you have nightmares. Your fears being realised, your fears coming to a forefront. And quite obviously this can be a really helpful tool with shadow work, because it sort of keys into what you are actually worrying about or afraid of. This sort of keys into psychic attack as well, but for shadow work purposes, dream analysis, dream work can be really, really helpful, because you're not rationalizing what you're actually afraid of. You're not saying, oh well, maybe I'm not really afraid of that because and social conditioning, so it's not really acceptable for me to feel this way or feel afraid of this, so I'll just poo-poo it and put it in the back of my mind. And all those sort of conventions of the conscious mind, which can often be quite controlling, come into effect. So for shadow work, dream analysis, particularly of nightmare analysis, is actually really helpful, because you're looking at what you're actually afraid of without any of those limitations in place, and you can then start to, in your conscious mind, begin to work through that. How you choose to work through that is an entirely different subject, and probably a video all by itself. But basically acknowledging it and working through your fears can come about as part of dream analysis. I think it can be a really helpful tool to helping you heal yourself in all manner of ways. realizing how things may have affected you in ways that you hadn't really thought of, or you hadn't allowed yourself to feel. You know, dreams sort of force us to look honestly at situations, even when the situation ends up being insanely meshed up with a load of other weirdness, because it's like, oh my god, what was all this about? Why are there singing trees? And I don't know. Yeah, I can't even remember what I dreamt about last night now. So this is why you should dream journal. I do dream journal if it seems particularly vivid or important. If it's just dirty men, then the world doesn't need to know. I amuse myself. But, you know, in all forms of things that we need, often dreams will throw that into sharp relief. So I'm joking about dirty men, but, you know, if you are in need of some sort of healing in a sexual manner, then that can come through your dreams. And often dreams will throw us into different perspectives that sometimes are quite alarming to us. And part of me wonders how much of it is past life regression, because obviously your brain is more open to accepting and receiving those energies from the divine. So any messages from spirit guides or the divine, or perhaps past life, will come through more readily and more easily because you're not blocking it out with your conscious thoughts and minds, and you're not busy. So, you know, have we been those things in previous lives? And given that we're supposed to experience all carnations of life, if you believe in past lives and reincarnation, obviously. If you don't, then you can ignore me. But obviously this is a pagan-y witch thing in general, to sort of feel that there probably are more than one lifetime to learn all the many lessons that there are to learn. So again, it's a way of learning who we are and who we have been through dream analysis. It's tapping into a subconscious memory which we have repressed because we have been reborn. So that could be true of all, you know, a lot of memory therapy, that, you know, whether it be past life or just this life, things we've forgotten and they are still affecting us whether we realize it or not, can come up through dreaming, and it's why it's worth paying attention. So I think that's everything I want to cover. If I go into any more depth, it becomes more about, you know, specific bits like symbols within dreams, and to be honest, I think that's a very personal thing and should be interpreted within the realms of what symbols mean to you. Although, you know, if you're a beginner, then grab a dream book, grab a dream analysis book, or grab some information off the internet. But, you know, if I would get a book, you can get them quite cheap, like the small is it Dream Analysis Bible? Dreaming Bible? The same sort of range as the Crystal Bible ones. And you can grab one of those reasonably inexpensively, and if you've never done it before. And just read through it, and you can, you know, make notes in pencil. This might mean something else to me, which is great. You know, that's the way to start, and to journal everything. And it can be a really helpful tool, particularly with healing. I think healing is the main sphere for me where dream analysis becomes important, for certain. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Many blessings.